Boom.
Biddly, 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 bo. Yes, yes, yo. Here we go. There ain't nobody down around here, even though we are having difficulties with the video. This is for the first time in the history of the channel. This is the third time I've had to restart the video. Now, it's through no fault of my own. It's not because the do was not quite right. You know, it's not because the chain's falling off, even though that happened in the second one. But, you know, we roll with them punches. But I just feel like we're lagging ever so slightly, and I keep thinking that the video's fucking up, and then I watch it back, and it's fine. But that's not why we're here. You know why we're here, and you know it, and you know it. So get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. The clock watchers are in. The clock watchers are on. The clock watchers are over. I've been to meet Joe today. He went to go pick his car up. There will be a video on his channel later that I do go and suggest. I want to shout out Steve from Leeds United Tampa Bay, who gave me this. I think I got it slightly by default because it really was there to meet Joe and I was the guinea pig, but it was very kind of him to bring me along one as well. They are handmade, so that will be on the, but it won't be on the back wall because I can't hang it up, but it'll be held hostage on the back wall somewhere. So shout out to Steve from Tampa Bay, who's originally from Essex, then moved to America, and then he made his way to Ellen Road today. So it's called it 8,000 miles to Ellen Road, which is stellar, and we love it. It makes me proud of the city, as we spoke about before. I told Steve the same thing. All I care about is Leeds as a city as well as the football club. So I care about the football club very dearly, but it's mainly the city for me, and putting us on the map and making us feel good and making people want to come and see what Leeds is all about. Go out round town, have a few bevies, have something to eat and all that jazz. That's why we're here. Shit is a shit. Does nobody do it how we does it up in Yorkshire, Biatch? West Yorkshire. Yorkshire. Into the weekend, we have got Fulham. We've got 2 away games, which I think's a shame because, you know, Ellen Road is currently our fortress. My man, Facker, making certain of it. We've got Fulham away and then Wolves away. Fulham have got 2 points. They've played Chelsea, Man United and Brighton. So obviously Chelsea is your free hit, if people like to call it a free hit, which, you know, nobody around here thinks that way. But, you know, when you get beat 5-0 to Arsenal, you go, well, it was like, oh, a free hit, what it, our kid, fuck it, free hit. And then Man United, which isn't a free hit to anyone, is it? You know, everybody should be beating Man United, including us, which we will get the 6 points over them bastards. Them bastards. I'd love it if we beat them, do double over them. Love it if we do that. And then Brighton, who obviously a decent side. So 2 points. Fulham will be wanting to get on the bandwagon. But I said on Joe's show last night that any team sort of in and around you and certainly below you at any point in the league, if they're on a bad run of form, we need to be picking up points, don't we? So if we can go away from home, obviously in London at Fulham, and get a point, you'd take that with both hands, wouldn't you? I would imagine Fulham will score. So it's good. We're going to have to score in games. We're going to have to start creating more chances. I appreciate the worry of the fan base when it comes to us going forward. I'm talking about on the pitch. I'm not talking about our trajectory. We're definitely going forward in the world, moving on up in the world. And then we're into Wolves away, which is a shame we've not got Wolves at home. They've been poor. They've been beat 3 times out of 3 games to Man City, which everybody would accept. Bournemouth, again, good side. And then Everton, who haven't lost a game since we beat them on the opening day of the season, which everybody told me was not the best way to go about and win a game. Everton are a Premier League side. They've just brought Grealish in, and we're all now told he's back to his best and he's the best player in the world. I kid, because I think Joseph has... not Joseph, fucking hell, that's later. That comes later on the Bane hype. Yeah, Grealish is a brilliant signing for him. There was some musings from the Voldemorts of the world, the American Gabes, that he'd signed for Leeds United, which I always thought was a bit of a fairy tale, but that's where we deal sometimes. We deal in the clickbait, don't we? Even though they like to think we don't. Then it's Bournemouth, tough game. They've got 6 points from 9. Spurs, they've got 6 points from 9. They're both home games, and then we're away to Burnley, and that's when we get into the 6-point territory again. West Ham, 6-pointer. You know, they've not had best of starts either, although they did just thump Nottingham Forest. I want to actually say, I mean, one of Steve's friends that were with him today down at Ellen Road is a West Ham fan. And I was going to ask the question whether, you know, is that the start of Nottingham Forest's demise? So we've all sort of gone on this thing where, like, oh, that's hopefully just a freak result for West Ham getting the 3 points and beating them quite comfortably, Notts Forest. But I have tipped them to have a real wobble this year. I don't think they'll be anywhere near the relegation, but I don't think they'll be able to maintain certainly what they did last year. And then when the opening couple of games of the season, I thought, or to be fair, I've got that one badly wrong. But you can start well, can't you? And if the tail off, if 5 or 6 games and it starts to go a little bit wrong, you really can get sort of embroiled in the shit, can't you? That's what I'm saying. With Fulham being beneath us at the moment, 2 points from 9, regardless who the opposition have been. Chelsea, Man United and Brighton, all decent sides, barring Man United. You've got to go and try and get points against them teams. So you just got to hit teams at the right time. People have argued we've got Newcastle at the right time. But, again, if Newcastle then dick us, beat us, or they end up getting some at Liverpool like they nearly did, their season looks very different, doesn't it? So, you're only a couple of results away from impending doom, and you're only a couple of results away, really, from seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, aren't you? I want to address a ridiculous article, and the only reason I've used it is because that is what the article says. We don't do clickbait over here. You know this by now. If you don't know by now, you never knew shit is as shit does. Gruev embroiled in serious scandal. So, I'm thinking serious scandal. I'm thinking brilliant. This is ace news, brilliant content for the channel. I joke, I kid. I would never want my man Ilya Gruev in a serious scandal. But, you're thinking like the 4-letter word that you're not allowed to say on YouTube begins with R, ends with E. It's a name for a type of monkey being an ape. You fill in the rest. Or you don't even have to fill it in at that point. I've spelled it out and I've said enough of it. Rap, ape. I think if I split it out enough, it'll be all right. I'll stop at that. I'm going to try and add a few more, but I shan't do. Be my guest in the comments and get ahead and do that. Or, or he's noncing some kids out or something back in Bulgaria. But none of that is the case. And it just so happens that he's had a ding-dong with Lamine Yamal, the guy that my guy in pre-season, when I bumped into somebody and we were chatting away and he went, it's like they won't go out and just get that attacking fucking minded footballer, will they? Like that young lad. What is he, 17, 18? Barcelona. And he went, just go and get him. I went, as a joke, oh, you mean Yamal? Like I thought we're having a laugh here. And he was like, that's him. That's the one. Go and get him. Pay the wages. I thought, my word, some players we've still got in the squad that everybody's moaning about. And my guy here in the street thinks you can go and just get Yamal. Do you know what I mean? Who's literally straight out of womb were destined to be a Barcelona footballer, but eggs is eggs. But yeah, apparently Gruev's had a ding dong with him. He's just basically booted him off at ball, which is proper old school central defensive midfielder vibes, in it. When you're getting beat, they got beat 3-0, did Bulgaria to him. Obviously, Gruev plays for Bulgaria, not Spain. He's not on the winning side. He's not just randomly kicking one of the best players in the side of his own team, But I actually liked it of Gruev a little bit, if I'm brutally honest. Brutally honest. Sounds like them. That's another clickbait title and go, he's been brutally honest. But yeah, because Gruev comes across like quite a nice lad, doesn't he? And it's nice to think, just, I don't know, stick one on him, stick one on little dickhead. It's like, who cares? You know what I mean? Don't play for Leeds United. Fucking stick one on him. And that's what I want to get us back to anyway, dirty Leeds. That's where we want to be hated again, really. Just because of the way we play. If we have Bielsa at the helm, it's all right. You can go and let the club play and let everybody like us and go, oh, we're so brilliant to watch. But really, we're not in that spot now. We don't have a Rafinha at our disposal to sort of really play, that we could still play really attractive forward-thinking football. Don't get me wrong, Bielsa would still do that. But when you've got that icing on the cake, Rafinha, that we don't currently have, you can be a little bit more exposed. So I just want us to get back to being horrible to beat. And then by the time I get to January, hopefully Farker can go to the board and go, look, I've cemented as 15th. I need some investment going forward. Again, not in terms of the trajectory we are going forward. Need to be careful. I'm flailing my arm around there when we're talking about serious scandals. Don't get much more serious than that, salute. However, it turns out it's got nothing to do with Yamal. So apparently he were a bit hot-headed after the game, was Gruev, and he was pissed off with the performance. And he's had a ding-dong with their manager. So it really doesn't matter about the Yamal bit. It's just obviously part of the frustration. But it was a really long-winded article, and I had to read the article about the scandal, because it suggested that it was because of Yamal, the reason why he got dropped from the next game. But he's had a ding dong, and then it says he needs to sort this out before he gets back to Leeds. It's like, why? Why is that going to make any difference? People don't seem to understand when they go out on international duty. Some players love it and they go out and play. I bet Man U players love it now to get back to their home countries and go play in a different squad, in a decent squad. And some players love playing for the club, don't they? So don't worry about it. Gruev's going to be all right, man. He's going to get back and he's going to be bang at it. And then my man, Mateo Joseph, I mean, The article, the headline is "It's not the prettiest place," and he's discussing Yorkshire, and he's saying that he was here because he had to be, but he also said like relatively decent things about Victor Orta, saying, you know, everything that it was promised came to fruition, and he said he said I can't. What are they? Let's get this exactly right here. It was a change which we believe was for the better at a club in the Premier League at the time. At the time of the calling, and offered a very interesting project. It's gone very well, and I've learned a lot from my time there. It's not the same living in Leeds as in Spain. There aren't as many things to do, which I don't really know what that means. But I knew it was a place I needed to be at that moment. It's not the prettiest place, but it's cozy. I lived near the training camp and used that time to focus on what I had to do. What you had to do, Matteo, was bang some goals in, kid, put some performances in, and then you would have been well within it. And then he discussed the title triumph, saying it was incredible. On top of that, we won the league in the last minute and everything was wonderful. I'm really looking forward to experiencing moments like that because they're wonderful. So he's on about, you know, unfortunately, he's not on about with Leeds. He's on about on a selfish level, you know, wherever he goes. And you have to be selfish in football. But I just think, you know, like, what do you mean by it's not the prettiest place? It's the prettiest place I've ever been, mate. I love the Gaff. So I am born here, I'll die here, mate. I absolutely love it. So I don't want to wear that. You know, you had a job to do, my man Matteo. Whether the town's the prettiest place you've ever been in your life or not, if you think Mallorca's a better place to live, that's totally your prerogative and good for you. But I do not believe you're playing for a bigger and better football club right now. So that's the decision you made. The decision I made was to live in Leeds, and the decision I will long to make is to live and die in this place. So I love it, mate. So I don't need to hear from you saying it's not the prettiest place. You focus on your football, kid. I'll focus on where I want to live and how I want to live my life. Peace. Keep liking, subscribing. Appreciate every which one of you. Leeds United, Tampa Bay. Shout out to Just Joe for today. I've had a mint day. He'll have a video. Well, not shout out to Just Joe for today. Shout out to Just Joe in general. But there'll be a video out on his channel, if not tonight, tomorrow morning. So look out for that.
Boom.